Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic, Volume 9, Episode 4. Are you in the market for a board game today? Let me suggest Booba Kiki, my latest release. This is a fun and funny party game based on a psychology experiment. It plays 3 to 8 people. It is a cooperative game about matching crazy nonsense words with abstract shapes, and people sync up much more often than you think they would. So give it a shot if you would. But today we are going to be solving a puzzle as we usually do, and today's puzzle is a Shingoki, which looks to have a couple things in common with some other types that we have covered before, but it is a new one to me. So let's discover it together today as we look at the rules. Shingoki is a logic puzzle in which we connect some pairs of orthogonally adjacent dots to form a single non-intersecting loop that passes through every circle. So that means we will draw a loop traveling only horizontally and vertically along these grid points, and the loop will never touch itself. We won't have any intersections or branches. The loop must turn on black circles and go straight through white circles. So that is similar to the constraint from a Masu puzzle, but it's less restricted because in a Masu we would have to go straight through another for another cell in each of the two directions coming off of a black dot, for example, and those restrictions are not here. We just have to turn on the black circles and go through the white circles. And a clue in a circle represents the sum of the lengths of the two line segments coming out of it. So, for example, this 5 in the solution we see travels length of 1 above and 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right of it for a total of 5. This 3 clue has 1 to the left and 2 to the right for a total of 3. Those are the rules of Shingoki, so it's time to solve a puzzle. Today's Shingoki was set by Jovial. While this is not a Masu, we can, I'm sure, apply some of the same logic to clues at the edges. The white circles that are on edges, we have to go straight through and can only do that in one direction. That is the same, and black circles on the edge will need to have one side that goes inward. It's just that they only go at least one step inward instead of 2 in a Masu. So we can pull that logic right over. And now I think we'll need to start looking at the numbers to get further. So starting up in the corner, the 3 can't go any further in this left direction, so it's 1 and it's going to have 2 in the other direction, and then it's going to have to turn. The 6 could go as much as 2 to the left and as much as 4 to the right, and it needs that many to get to 6, so it's going to go all the way in both directions. The 4 could go as much as 2 north, so it's got to go at least 2 south. The 7 could go as much as 2 north, so it's got to go at least 5 south. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's see, the black circles should be able to do the same thing, but they're pretty small. This one is the only one I can see that we're going to be able to make a quick deduction, because it could only go as much as 2 to the north before hitting this line. So it's going to need to go west, and goes at most 2 to the north, so it has to go at least 3 to the west. That means that this doesn't mean much about that one. This 2, we know some stuff about. Any 2, I think, in this puzzle. Yeah, that's any 2 has 2 lines coming out of it of length 1. And so this can't go any further, and the other one has to be of length 1. And if we tried going north, we'd meet up with the huge 7 clue. So in fact, it does go south. And this is going to have to turn, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've only used up 5 of the 7, so we need 2 more, and we'll meet up there. Might as well draw in our turns where we have determined the from the lengths of things. This 4 is done, so it's got to turn. And that means this 7 clue will be done because we've got 1 on one side and we've got to go straight through for 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that is interesting, and I'm glad this happened early because now I'm trying to figure out, are there any places where I have messed this up? I don't think so. I'm glad I caught it here. So I was thinking that the segment to the west would stop if it hit another circle, but I think I'm wrong about that. A white clue in particular, I suppose a black clue could do this as well, but it's going to be harder. It's counting the entirety of the line before it makes a turn, regardless of whether it might hit another dot along the way. And I know this because, not because the rules made that clear to me, but because this would be impossible otherwise. So 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that makes both of these 7s happy, seeing through each other. Okay, interesting. So yeah, and I'm fairly certain that I haven't messed anything else up from that. This 3 comes in here, it goes 2 more and stops. The 4 can't be horizontal because it can't go any more than 1 to the east and only 1 to the west. So it's north and south. So this has to turn east, this has to turn south. This 6 can't be vertical. There's just not enough room. So 1, 2 at max to the east. So at least 4 west. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly 4 west. So it's going to go over here, turn north. That makes this 2 horizontal. We'll have to turn on both sides. This end is going to have to turn east so it doesn't get trapped. The 3 here, it has to be a horizontal, so it's going to go through there, and we finished off the 3, and it turns. And that basically finishes off all of the white dots. Whatever this 4 does, I don't know if it turns here or up here, but it's going to have to escape. So we're going to have a line that comes down this side, whatever this does. If it goes as far as it can, 2, it's got to go at least 2 to the south. So this will have to go further. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We could have 5. So all we know about the 6 is it goes to the east, not how far it goes. But if the 4 clue went 1 further to the south, now we've got a little loop. So that's not going to happen. 4 clue is going to turn. And it's going to have to go north further in order to get its full height. So we link that up then, and then that gives us the entirety of the 6 done. So it has to go south. This end of the loop can't meet up with this end without cutting off the rest of the puzzle, so this will have to turn. This turns here. And now we have to get serious about all of these black dots. This 5 is up against a wall, so it does go north a little, at least. With this 4, it isn't west and north. That is patently obvious, but which of the other ones can we rule out? Can we rule out west? If it was west, then it's going to have to turn and get 3 more, which would have to be to the south. And I think that breaks the puzzle, because then whatever happens with all of this, it can only ever meet up with the end of that a line that we just drew, isolating the rest of the puzzle. So this doesn't turn, it isn't west and south, it isn't west and north, so it isn't west at all. It goes east and then north or south. Therefore, this line keeps going south here. And what? I mean, if we could go south further as long as we turned east. So that's no good. The 5 in this direction could be as many as 3 tall now, which would give it 2 to the west. Maybe. Doesn't seem likely, but don't see the proof against it right away. Okay, so where do we look? There's going to be some stuff that pushes the loop to the north. We don't have a full loop constraint, so we can't force things up here, but I think if this whole area doesn't end up getting used, that feels like that's going to be not constraining enough on these things, but might be surprised by that. We don't go into this corner. So if this were to continue and meet up with this 4 dot, how are we going to have the other 2? Because we would go north. We can't go south. There's not enough room. And north will hit this and be 3 long instead of 2. Okay, so this does not continue on to the 4. It goes south, then east. So it could go north, but then the 4 is going to need 3 more, and it can't do that. So this keeps going. And so now we know how this 4 is disposed. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Again, can't close this loop too early, so this keeps going. And now our 5 should be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this goes north. Don't close that loop yet. Go up here. The 4 is done. 1, 2, 3, 4. This turns east. Again, don't close the loop. So to finish off our 2, we go south. And then east. This can't go any further. It'll be a dead end. So it turns north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's done. 1, 2, 3 is the only option. And turn. This 5 has to turn that way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is how that goes. This will have to go north, and then has to turn east to be done, and turn north. This has to turn west, and this is going to have to turn, and we're left with this 2, which can't go east, so it has to go west, and then south would be a dead end, so it goes north. And that is how you solve a Shingoki.